Thank you, Gloria. I hope so everyone can hear me loud and clear and can see my presentation. Yes. Okay, first of all, thank you to the conference organizers for once again providing me an opportunity to present my paper. Unfortunately, this time I cannot present it in person due to the prolonged visa processing in Pakistan. So again, coming back to my topic, again in my paper, what I have tried to do is analyze the strategic objectives, operational tactics, and tangible impacts of cyber operations conducted by both India and Pakistan. And I have tried to examine how cyber operations influence the trajectory of the conflict. The cyberspace rivalry between India and Pakistan date back to late 90s, and again, according to CFR Cyber Operations Tracker, both countries have been involved in state-on-state cyber operations. There were 13 cyber operations according to CFR launched by Pakistan and 7 by India. Most of these activities are largely based on intelligence gathering, and again, there have been no confirmed cyber operation by either country which have caused critical infrastructure disruption. Again, the full extent of their capabilities remains unclear because of the secretive nature adopted by both countries. However, the May conflict was the first time when cyber operations were not only extensively employed but also publicized. This was something which never have occurred in the past skirmishes or conflict. This was the very first time when it was effectively deployed and publicized as well. Again, the methodology for this paper is that I have used the data which is available till 30th September. Again, there have been combination of primary sources, cybersecurity advisories issued by the CERTs of both countries, private reports by the private cybersecurity companies, and secondary sources which primarily relied on press reports. Again, in this paper, I have not included cyber-enabled disinformation, and it's beyond the scope of this paper. Coming to the strategic objectives, again, both countries never declared strategic objective as to what they want to achieve by again targeting each other in the cyber domain. Although Pakistan, it was a very first time acknowledged of a comprehensive and effective cyber offensive against India, but there was no official acknowledgement of any deployment of cyber operations by India. Most of the media reporting in both countries were largely sourced from either unknown sources or security sources. So again, there was lack of officials, either government officials or military officials, talking about what they are doing in the cyber domain. In terms of anticipation of potential cyber attacks, Pakistani CERT issued 5 advisories where they said that the adversaries can launch cyber attacks which can compromise critical networks or can leverage misinformation and disinformation as psychological weapons. Indian state, on the other hand, issued 2 advisories, but it was not very specific to the conflict. But again, they say that severe cyber threats activities have been detected. In terms of operational tactics, as you can see on the slides, they were most of the attacks were either DDoS attacks or website defacement. There were some alleged data breaches. There were some attempts of network intrusions and social engineering attacks as well. In terms of tangible attacks, most of the DDoS attacks averaged 30 to 60 minutes. One of the notables one of was the DDoS attack on Indian President Office, which lasted for around 19 hours. Again, there was the claims of alleged data breaches. Most of those were not as concrete enough if one tried to rely on the tech reports by the private cybersecurity firms. Again, there was certain instances in which certain data leaks of past were repackaged and shown as latest attempts, like that was of Election Commission of India 2023 data leak. Again, there were some claims about massive private Indian judicial records, but again, there was no lack of collaboration on that. There was again this claim that Indian Army data was leaked, but again, there was no authentic corroboration about that. Again, one of the claims made by Pakistan was that they were able to disable 70% of power grid. Again, no evidence is there to suggest that Pakistan was able to do such thing. And again, there is no independent reporting about the claims that Indian groups or again something alleged state actors were involved in compromising Pakistan's critical network. These are some indicators of compromise. As you can see how certain again websites were created again in order to lure in government or military officials to share their login credentials. According to again reports by private cybersecurity firms, half of the documented incidents were DDoS attacks, one third were defacement attacks, and again most of the alleged data breaches lacked verification or again they seemed like data from the past or again repackaged as something new. And again, it was primarily done according to certain experts to imply penetration rather than actual penetration. Again, to conclude, all the activities which happened during the May and last days of April War again did not contribute in any way to the military escalation, although it has emerged as a parallel domain, but again there was no tangible impact on the war fighting or the military balance between both countries. And again, this alleged state-backed hacking groups continued to lack any capabilities to launch or disrupt critical infrastructure. And again, based on the activities which we have seen from late April onwards till May onwards to May, we can conclude that all these activities were largely a part of the recurring pattern of cyber hostilities between both countries, which have been seen in the past whenever there is any skirmishes or any political flare up between both countries. Thank you.